Let's talk about the EV charger. That's a beautiful machine that y'all have.
It is. So I actually drive one of them. It's dangerously fun is maybe a light way to put it. If you're dangerous, I don't do anything along those lines, but it's a beautiful car. It drives really smooth. It's got a neat little button at the bottom of the steering wheel. It's like those kid shows that you see where it's like, don't press the button. What do you do anyways?
Press the button.
I tried the button.
Well, I think that's that day that you pressed the button and my head went back when we were going to lunch, because that like boom is that burst of energy in that EV charger. But let me tell you this though, you motivated me to get into an EV.
So you're gonna buy one of mine?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm driving an EV Equinox, and it's red with red seats. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, I saw it sitting out there. I mean, it's a little red. Like,
Well, so Tyler,
intense
okay,
red.
we keep using car talk. What is an EV? Do you know what the initials stand for?
Energetic vehicular.
Yeah.
Electric vehicle.
Electric vehicle.
It's actually FHEV. FEV. Fully electric vehicle. And then they have PHEV, which is plug-in hybrid electric vehicle.
Well, I think right now though we have the EVs, and I'll tell you this: when I started driving it, the experience was just different. That what my mind was, right? My mind had like these limitations on EV, has to be bad, battery, but actually I enjoy it. Like I really enjoy it. And I think if people would just get in it and just try it, they would probably like it too.
Yeah, what's the range on that bad boy?
260 miles.
Yeah,
Not bad.
The more you train it, so an EV, like it learns your driving habits. So like the Charger, it starts out 80%, you're at 180 mile range. And I looked at it quizzically, it was like, what am I going to do with this?
Right.
The more you train it and you learn, and then I set it to where you could do 100% capacity on the battery, and it does 220. But then now, as much as it's been driven, it's up to like 264. So that car will eventually start getting more. Don't worry.
Well, 80% is 260 for me. So I'm glad that you said that, because I haven't got into the training, because naturally we put ours in loaner service. How about you?
Yeah, all of our electric vehicles went into loaner service. I have 3 Wagoneer S's that are coming. Rebecca, who works for the group, she said she was going to buy at least 2 of them.
Well, hopefully, if she's listening, hopefully she's subscribed to the channel. We will check that out and make sure that our marketing director is subscribed, right?
I might have misstepped, but yeah. They're a cool vehicle. You know, there's a lot of stigma. We live in Texas. Gas through and through, oil through and through, but you add this into the lineup, I'm the same way, but I hopped in one and I really enjoyed it.
I do too. So, the next thing is like, who's it for, right? Like, who drives this? Who's going to really experience it? And the good part is you just said Wagoneer. I'm talking about Equinox. So it's really for the everyday person, right? It's for the mom with kids. It's for the person that drives around town, because they're making them pretty much in all makes and models. Yeah. So, an EV is just about the experience. So matter of fact, when you get a moment, come to the service drive, bring your car. We'll let you test drive one for the day. I think that's the best thing somebody could ever do, is just get in it and just experience it, right?
Yeah. I'll even put mine on your drive so they can test drive from your.
Well, you do borrow our Charger all the time, which is okay, because I know you guys don't have one over there at the shack, because you're still at the shack.
Hey, we have fun out of it, though.
Yeah, you guys do.
We're moving and grooving.
All right, let's talk about it. What's coming up? It's June. Some important things happen in the city of Ennis in June.
Freedom Fest.
Freedom Fest, June 28th. You better mark your calendars, because the Freedom Fest is like one of the biggest events that Ennis puts on.
Live music,
shorts. Do you own a pair?
Yeah, but I always joke that if you don't see me in blue jeans and boots, I'm wearing shorts, and it's
like shorts.
They don't really make shorts for a guy 6'4". You buy knee length or jeans on some people. So
Yeah, okay.
Long story short, I wear the short shorts.
I was going to say, I can see your Daisy Dukes. That's what I could just, when you just said what you said, Daisy Dukes is what just came to my mind. Like, what was that show, Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah.
I see it. Your Daisy Dukes. You
My
got the
hair was
short
probably
shorts.
as long as hers.
Question, what do you have on? Do you have on boots with your shorts? Or
Dude,
flip-flops, tennis shoes? I mean, what goes on with these shorts?
barefoot probably.
Seriously.
So if I'm not wearing shoes, I prefer to be barefoot.
Okay.
I grew up in Runaway Bay, Bridgeport area, Texas, and it was barefoot just about anything.
Okay. How about your kids? Are they barefoot in the summer?
Yes.
Gotcha.
My daughter would go probably, just ideally, how she came out. She'd try and run around, but barefoot.
Okay, how old is your daughter? You just, somebody's now thinking your daughter wants to run around. That's the reason why. Still wants to run around.
Yeah, my daughter is not 16 thinking that way, I promise.
Okay. Well, my
I
daughter.
got a 3-year-old daughter.
You have a 3-year-old. I have an 18-year-old.
It's a big difference.
Have you seen the prom pictures?
Oh, yeah. Of
My daughter's prom.
yes.
You know what? When we sat back and really talked to her about this, she said, Dad, I want a wedding. I said, hold on. You're going to prom, not getting married. You're 18.
Is it the dress?
Oh, the dress. Good gosh. So
Got her in the mindset.
I remember back in 1996 when I graduated high school, so I'm a little bit older than you, Tyler. The girls would go to Dillard's or to Macy's and they would go pick out a dress from like the rack, and that's what they would wear. And I thought it was beautiful. It was real nice. She comes to me and says, oh, we got to get on a Zoom call because
For a dress?
for the prom dress.
A Zoom call.
We got on a Zoom call because there was a lady in Chicago that was going to make this prom dress. And we never saw the lady. We saw pictures of her Instagram. And I'm sitting here, my stomach is in knots, first and foremost, that the lady says, okay, now that you guys have agreed that this is what I'm going to do, send me a payment so I can get started. I'm like, okay. So we did that. But did you see how that dress turned out?
Yeah.
It was like amazing.
Yeah.
So this is what I told her. Keep that dress so that when you do get married, that's what you're wearing.
There you go. Think in advance.
Oh, have to, right? Man, that was just crazy.
Other kids? You have other kids?
Yeah.
18,
2 boys.
2 boys?
Yep, 2 boys. 20, 25. So I got the older ones. How about you?
7 and 5.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, they're boys too. So 2 boys and a girl.
All right, so we're in the same boat. Yeah. So with that being said, that always helps us with these family vehicles. That's why you always see me either get a Tahoe, right? I like the Tahoe 3rd row vehicle. It's my opinion, honestly, I think it's a little bit better than y'all's Wagoneer.
Yeah, you're fully wrong probably on that. Have you been in a Wagoneer?
I have. We actually traded for the Wagoneer that you bought, I believe, for your wife.
I did, and she
So
loves it.
Did you guys come and thank me for trading them out of a Wagoneer and getting them into a Chevy product?
No, I just thanked your sales manager for being scared of it.
Oh, because that's right. We won't get into that. We won't get into that. But we do put all the money into trades, which that simply means to you is that, if you come out to Ennis, we're going to always help you get out of your vehicle. So if you have a trade in, bring it to us. Doesn't matter if it's
whatever brand.
If it's running, if it's not running, just bring it to us. Any brand, we love trades because we can do stuff with them. So yeah, so that will help. So Freedom Fest, that's what we were talking about. Freedom Fest is coming. Freedom Fest is coming to Ennis June 28th. Great time to be out here. But before Freedom Fest, you just told me you're a father. It's Father's Day.
15th?
June 15th. Happy Father's Day. What do you get?
I probably know what you're going to do.
What?
You're going to go play golf, aren't you?
I want to, but then sometimes
Then you got to get out of your blue chair?
There you go. That blue chair of mine that I run home to every night, it just, I don't want to get out. But so I want to know, like, Father's Day, you have 7, 5, and a 3-year-old. So what are you getting? Socks, underwear? Probably not getting a tie. 'Cause I think I've
Sleep
seen
an
you
hour
more.
later.
Sleep an hour later. But what are you going to get? What's on your gift list? Like, what are you going to ask them for?
Probably nothing exciting. I mean, at this point, it's, I spend a lot of time here. It's just, I want to be home. I want to see my littles and, sleep a little longer. I'm sure there'll be some kind of golf on. Maybe catch a glimpse of it. But
U.S. Open.
Hopefully the Stars will be.
It'll be over by then, buddy.
No, it won't.
June 5th. Oh, if they make it.
It could be.
So Father's Day, you want to just hang out with your littles.
Yeah.
And I actually want to be alone.
Well, your kids are.
Yeah, they are older. But I think that Father's Day, the best thing for me really would be, it'd be on a golf course. Just relaxing, playing golf with a couple buddies.
Or we could play golf. I play golf.
We've never played before. We're up here spending so much time together. We went to Florida with our company, and we were going to play, and we didn't play.
We didn't play, no.
You guys sat at the beach and just hung out. But
did nothing. Rebecca actually walked by and laughed at me because I was reading a book about work.
Okay. Reading a book about work on vacation.
Yeah.
You're a workaholic.
Yeah, sometimes. It's good. I love what I do. So, why we wanted to do a podcast.
Whoa. Back up. That kind of inferred something there for a second.
I'm backing up.
Like, you love what you do, and that's why you're a workaholic?
Yeah, well.
I love what I do as well, and I don't believe that I need to be a workaholic in order to display that I love what I do.
Well, this is part of what we've talked about, and you've mentioned to me is, being less of the workaholic and enjoying. But what I'm saying is,
and the reason why though we can do that is because we have great teams.
That's right.
We have a great staff. We have great sales managers. We have great people in service and parts. I mean, we really have some real good people that work with us, and because of that, it allows us to have work-life balance, not just for us, but also for them. That's
right.
One of the things we pride ourselves in as a company, right, is not having to be here open to close every single day and getting burnt out.
Yeah. I'll still be here whenever, but, I will tell you, so, coming to this organization and being part of it and learning some of that balance. Our leader even talks about, when you try and call him or he calls you when you're off, and he actually hung up on me one time.
That was funny.
Out of courtesy.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah. We were getting ready to have
a three-way call.
We were on a three-way call, and then he found out you weren't at work, and he just he hung up right on your and here was the most funny part of that was that right after he hung up on you, I told him, I said, Tyler is going to text me. 10 seconds later, the text came. What are y'all talking about? What's going on? And here we go, right? So, yeah, Father's Day. So, matter of fact, what are you doing for Father's Day? Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the comments. Let us know. We that's one of the things about our podcast is that, we like to see what people do.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you celebrate that? How do you celebrate your father or Father's Day if they're still living? So, just let us know. Put it in the chat. But I think it's good. Father's Day. You got anything special that's going to happen?
I'm going on vacation.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. So
the workaholic goes on vacation.
Yeah.
Are you going to take that same book?
You know how? No, I'm already done with that book. But you know how the vacation comes about when you're a workaholic. It's usually someone schedules it, and then you go. So nonetheless, I'm very excited. We're going to Gulf Shores. Yeah.
Alabama.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember those days in Alabama.
The country with the beach.
Yeah, country with the beach. Alabama.
We won't be hemming and hawing about that.
You're going to get right to it?
Yeah, we're going to get right on it.
Gotcha. One of the things that I love about the summer months, though, for us in the dealership world, is that we get to see lots of vehicles with their tops off. Do you guys
vehicles?
Yeah. Yeah, vehicles. But yeah. I did say vehicles.
Man, we are the kings of top off.
Well, then we're the queens of tops off.
I mean, do you even have a vehicle that you can take a top off?
Corvette.
Okay, fair enough. What is that thing like? This big?
The top might not be a big top, but people take them off and they go fast in them, and they
call
really enjoy it.
You should call it like a strip. It's just a strip. You
call it whatever you
might
want.
as well just peel the strip off, and then you call that a top.
Okay, well, what do you have?
I got a Jeep. I got a Gladiator, Wrangler and a Gladiator.
Okay, great. You got two big.
You can do it. So you also can do a one touch. You can press a button and your entire roof's open. Your top's open.
So we have that too. In the top will sit inside of the car where you can't even see it, and it just like it's electric. It does all that. But then, since you brought up the Jeep, I have a question. No, seriously, I have this question. What about these ducks? I always see the ducks inside like the right there on the windshield. What is that? Like,
well, so the story, and one of our parts managers who drives a Wrangler, she
works for the Chevy parts.
She helps with both.
Okay. But seriously,
she drives a Jeep,
okay,
and she loves talking about this story. Someone who had, I'd probably have to get a little more detail, but it's really a way it started.
So basically, you're a GM of a Jeep dealership, and you don't know why y'all do ducks.
She did it as a way to express joy and to brighten someone's day. And all the ducks are put on Jeep vehicles for that reason. Is, hey, you place a duck, and it's usually if you walk out to your car. Well, I'm not going to ask you because you probably look at one of your famous facial expressions. You probably come out and look at that duck like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Am I supposed to duck?
Jeep owners know the drill, and it's
duck,
a way. Goose. If you get, they call it, you get ducked. So someone puts a duck on your dash, and it brightens your day.
I see. So ducking is it ducking or you got ducked?
I'm calling it that. So.
Okay. Well, Chevy guy's gonna say ducking. So y'all go around duck, 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 goose. You know? All right, so at least that helps me. So I understand though. So can I put a duck in somebody's dash? No. You have to be a Jeep owner.
Yeah, it's a Jeep to Jeep.
Community.
Yep.
Ooh. Yeah. I like that.
So our brand, which we have 4 products, and then depending, you got Alfa Romeo, you got Fiat, which we don't have here, but our brand incorporates those 4 products, but the Jeep brand is kind of like, you got Jeep and Ram, big wings of that, the manufacturer. And the Jeep community, huge forums, so many different modifications to them, many ways to take the top down rather than peel a strip off. But the Gladiator is the same way. So if you own a Jeep Gladiator, you can get ducked there too.
All right. Okay. So now we just got educated on the ducks.
Yep.
All right. So RamRado has like caught fire, and we now have a softball team.
Yep.
I thought the name was going to be Pegasus Ponies, but somehow the name got shifted over to RamRado.
Marketing scheme, someone, I'm sure, just planted a seed and made it happen. But
okay, I need to know prediction. So we play on Wednesday nights in Waxahachie, Ellis County. We play 10 games. What will be the record of RamRados?
Probably 10-0. I don't know if you know this or not about me, but I'm very, very optimistic. So
I just saw that.
10-0.
10-0.
Yes.
Okay, 10 wins or 10 losses?
That's 0-10, Derek. 10 wins, 0 losses.
I was really checking to see how much of an athlete you were, you know, and I used the word
I'm
were.
Multi-sport.
I used the word were, past tense.
Yeah, I'm getting up there.
So are you playing on the team?
Of course I am.
What position? No, I'm not playing.
I told you earlier. Whatever position I need to play.
So do you have any history around softball, baseball?
Baseball, yeah. I played catcher since the 3rd grade.
3rd grade, you were the catcher.
Yeah.
So you can catch.
Yep.
Do you know in softball the worst position to be in softball is the catcher?
I didn't know that.
Well, I just told
But
you.
in baseball, it ain't
So
that
we're
fun
gonna
either.
we're gonna let you be the catcher.
Baseball, trust me, baseball, it's not fun either.
But you're in the action. You're in every play. How can that not be fun?
Well, it cannot be.
My son played the outfield. And it was like, until he got into high school ball, the outfield was kind of boring. And they used to put the kids back there that maybe couldn't really, you know.
And then it was the
But
talent.
then it was his speed and talent and all that good stuff. And I had to keep him in the outfield because he thought, you know, they don't put anybody in the outfield unless you suck. And so he wanted to play third base. And I was like, listen, Torrin, there's a lot of things that you do well, but right now that's not the spot for you. Let me tell you what would happen. I took him to a showcase tournament. And so at the showcase tournament, you have all these college scouts there, and everybody was there to come and check out the talent. Torrin has a gun of an arm, so he has a cannon. It kind of sounds like you were telling me that you got. So he has that as well. Okay. Now, the problem with this cannon, though, that he has is that he had no control. So when he was warming up,
fling it and wing it.
Fling it and wing it, and the ball would go so high up the thing, and I'm thinking, that's why you don't play the infield. Because if you're in the outfield,
he's blowing it right over the first baseman's head.
And it would be horrible. Yeah. So we kept him in the outfield, and you know what? He got a scholarship. You know where? Eastern Arizona. You know why? Because he stayed in the outfield. So we're going to give you a scholarship, but you got to stay at the catcher spot. So 10-0.
You're giving me a scholarship?
Yep.
Okay. Is it going to be from Pegasus Chevrolet?
It will be.
Okay.
Each week that you guys win a game, we're going to give a gift away to somebody that's on a listener of the podcast.
So summertime, you think about outdoors, fun, blast, beach. I'm going to the beach. Yeah. Maybe I can figure out a way, but to maybe take a Jeep out there. But I will say the best time, and Jeep actually has a top-off event. Jeep, the top-off sales event. So this summer is going to be about going topless.
Well, I love it. Just make sure it's the vehicle. Let's make sure we do that. So basically around here, you're telling me that we're going to see some Jeeps. You're going to see people's hands in the air waving around. We're going to see hair blowing around, right? We're going to see that. Okay, that's awesome. So July 4th, we're closed as a dealership. That's a Friday.
Yes.
But we're back here on July 5th. So hopefully we see some Jeeps come through and some Corvettes, and we have them coming, because you know what we're going to do? We're going to have dogs and deals.
Dogs and deals. Dogs and deals.
Hot dogs.
What about actual dogs?
Puppy dogs?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Hot dogs and deals. We won't go into too much of that, but hot dogs and deals.
Yeah. Yeah.
So grilling hot dogs and making some car deals.
Service deals.
Service deals, yes.
Like alignment specials so that your car goes in a straight line and you're not pulled over to the side. Listen, alignments, it'll save you money. Come get an alignment so that your tires will have life in your tires, and then you don't have to buy new tires because you got an alignment.
Yeah.
We're having an alignment special. Before you go on a road trip, let's talk about that. Before you go on a road trip, what are some things that every person should check with their vehicle before they go on that road trip this summer?
Well, if you're like me, I just take it to the shop and tell them I'm going to go on a road trip, make sure everything's good. But normally what you would say is make sure all your fluids are good, your tires are good, your oil change has been done, depending on how far you're going to be driving. Make sure you're well equipped and your vehicle is good and it's got its routine maintenance. So, alignments may need to be done, but fluids, differential, any of those things that are done. And the same way with me, every time I go on a trip, if my wife goes and I don't go, then I especially make sure. But drop it off at the service shop and let them know, hey, I'm going to be driving X amount of miles. I just want to make sure there is no scheduled maintenance that would need to be done. Usually we'll notify you, but it's a good practice to have. So you can always call us, give us a ring. Hey, just give us some update if you just want to, get the verbal confirmation of that. But more importantly is just making sure that, hey, no matter how many miles are on it, making sure that you're prepared for the end of that trip, the long journey. So
all that was a lot that you said.
Like, it just boils down to just getting your vehicle checked out. That's all.
So before they get out of Ennis, they're going to stop at Buc-ee's. What are you going to get? Favorite snack at Buc-ee's?
Beaver nuggets.
Beaver nuggets.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have the it's like the largest cup possible and largest foam cup maybe that's ever made there, and it's like $1.29. You can't go through without getting that.
So what I imagine is that when you guys leave Ennis and head to Alabama, if you were driving, I don't know if you are or not. Are you driving?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
My wife's got an injured foot, a wing, so we'll let her rest it.
I think y'all's car is going to be full of just junk. I can see beaver nuggets on the ground. I can see kids with
I
all
like
kind
to eat. I get it. You know, I'll just eat whatever, and I like to eat.
Y'all have a cooler in the car
Yes.
for drinks?
We will.
Capri Suns.
When you got a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old, every 30 minutes, I'm hungry. And then I give them the dad joke, like, hey, nice to meet you, hungry? My name is Dad. No, I'm hungry. Okay, I'll get you a snack. No big deal.
You know, we don't take road trips like that anymore.
Yeah.
We go on cruises.
Oh, yeah. Last time I went on a cruise was in the 8th grade. The only time I've been.
And you know what? I've been on probably 40-some cruises since then.
Really?
Yeah.
40? I feel like that's an exaggeration. 40 cruises.
We're car people. We always exaggerate. How many did you sell last weekend?
20?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So 20, pacing 120. Don't even have 25
Mike
cars on the
don't listen.
ground.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, I've been on a lot of cruises. Love it.
What's your favorite place to go when you cruise?
Wherever the boat goes.
Do you have like a figurative blue chair that's on the cruise?
There's so many blue chairs on the cruise.
But do you have, when I say
probably why I bought
figurative,
one.
you don't have 2 blue chairs that you sit in.
Well, I don't have 2, but
Do
on
you
the
pick
Lido
out-
deck, that's the 11th deck of a cruise for most cruises that I was going on, right?
So now
11th
you're like
deck.
a selling artist. Too.
Oh, I can tell you all about it. There would be right next to the hamburgers and hot dogs and the pizza. If you just keep walking down, there's going to be a nice blue chairs right there, and I would be right there in that blue chair. You know what I was looking at? The beautiful ocean. And guess what color it is?
Blue.
It's blue. Then when I looked to the sky,
It's
guess
blue.
what color it is?
It's blue.
It was blue too. Because
Good thing your brand is blue, Chevy.
it is.
Blue.
Yeah.
Except for October, maybe it's, breast cancer awareness, pink.
Yeah, we
but-
do a little pink in there.
Like a shirt.
Like my shirt. Yeah.
So, Derek, one thing that I always tell like my family and friends is, I would prefer, but I don't care if you buy a car from me or a vehicle or a truck, whatever that may be. I just want to be able to help, educate, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you think first-time buyer or your family or someone, what's one thing you think they should come in well-equipped knowing or have the information to be able to ask?
Yeah, I think that's great. I think the first thing I always say is that you got to know your situation and your story.
Yep.
Everybody knows what they're going through, and they have to know their budget. Because when you get into the dealership, sometimes you start to see things and it's shiny, it's new technology, and you start to want, and your eyes get bigger than your wallet. And the last thing you ever want to do is have buyer's remorse. And really, what is buyer's remorse? It's, I want all of that, but I know I can't afford it. But at the moment,
regret,
let's just do it, right? So knowing where you are so that you stay within your means. And here's what I'll tell you. There's a vehicle for everyone.
That's
and
right.
there's a vehicle for every budget. So knowing that
Bottom
budget,
for every seat.
bottom for every seat. That's right. And the power of it today too is first-time buyers. There's some incentives sometimes that manufacturers have. There's different deals. There's different interest rates that you can qualify for.
Knowing your eligible rebates.
Yeah,
right?
knowing the rebates, knowing those things, and just or asking the question, hey, what do I qualify for? Right, having a trusted advisor along that way. So yeah, budget's very important. How about you? What do you?
I think it boils down to knowing like you said, knowing your situation. And the situation's a lot of things, like where do you stand value versus what you owe on your vehicle if you do have a trade. If you're a first-time buyer, is know what your limitations are before you start looking at the new and shiny, expensive vehicles, is knowing your situation. Credit being one big thing. Because I spent a lot of years in finance, so when my family reaches out about buying a vehicle, that's one of the things I talk about because it dictates so much of the purchase, is knowing where you're at credit-wise and the situation, knowing what you can buy and, the factors around that, interest rate, things of that sort, and how much money you may need to come to the table with.
I think the best thing I love about us, though, is that our dealerships are such a family-oriented place that we walk our showrooms, that we're here to help.
Yep.
And our offices are open where people that, if you just say, where's the general manager? we're going to come out. We're going to talk to you. We're going to shake your hand. We're going to be right there alongside of you in the process because we understand this one thing is that relationships are way more important than the transaction.
Yep. And transactions, as you said, flow through relationships.
They flow through relationships, right? So we want to make sure that as you come and build with our Pegasus family, that you just know that you're way more than a transaction to us. We know your name.
100%.
We know your story. We want to know your kids. We want to know, and we want to help all those people. It could be, a family member. It could be a friend. But that's what really grows us.
So, Derek, you always say it's going down. I laugh because, Derek, you always say it's going down like what?
A Disney movie.
And it just went down like a Disney movie. God dog it. All roads lead to Pegasus.
Listen. We can't wait to see you here in Ennis, Texas. Come shake our hands. Listen, comments, suggestions, thoughts, topics, put them inside there.
Yep.
Put them inside there. We're here to stay.
We'll see you on the next episode.